Hi everyone, I'm Shahina. Is it on your mind? I will take you through a journey that recognizes that viewing art is a somatic bodily experience. Get ready, because I aim to spark your imagination and evoke your senses. According to the Telegraph, looking at a gorgeous painting, sculpture, or other works of art increases blood flow to the brain by as much as 10%. That's the equivalent at looking at someone that you love. The more time you spend analysing and contemplating art, the more you're able to stimulate both unconscious and conscious brain functions. Doing this frequently actually increases your analytical and problem-solving skills in everyday life. Take a few seconds to have a look at this painting. Did you see Elvis? Have a look at this painting. Do you see a city? What if I told you this painting is called NYC? Now tell me, do you see a city? Anyway, still, viewing art isn't just about making sense of colour and shapes. It's way more. In fact, it's an experience. As Mark Rothko puts it, a painting is not a picture of an experience, but it is the experience. Rather than just thinking of art as beautiful, we want to place ourselves into the artwork. This placement occurs through a process known as embodied cognition, in which mirror neurons in the brain turn things you see in art, like action, movement, and energy, into actual emotions you can feel. Isn't that amazing? So let's make our time together a real experience. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Hi everyone, I'm Shahina, and I would describe myself as a TEDx speaker, an avid artist, an adventurer, and a theory tester. But most importantly, I'm your host for this visual journey, which will end on a private viewing. So please make sure you stay till the end. It's an interactive experience, so please write words, sketch, and be inspired. Viewing art is a process and a somatic experience. It involves emotional valiance, periods of eye fixation, arousal, and dominance. Do you think I'm referring to viewing abstract art or something else? Today we will be practically exploring the philosophy of an aesthetic experience built on the relationship between the person's mind and art objects. So what's the story, and why are we talking about what's on your mind? So what's the story, and why are we talking about what's on your mind? Well, it goes a little bit like this. One day I was taking a walk with my friend and neighbour, and we started to talk about mussels. Yes, seafood mussels. She told me that it reminds her of a Rolo, a vijayjay, Yoni, or whatever you call your lady parts. Needless to say, I never looked at seafood the same way again. So after our conversation, I started to see this shape everywhere. Everywhere? Everywhere? Modern day advertising is pumped with subliminal imagery based on our base instincts. Suggestive imagery is everywhere, and it constantly surrounds us, whether we are conscious of it or not. Let's face it, since the emergence of WhatsApp, who looks at the aubergine in the same way? And is it all peachy? It's all around us in our everyday life. Look to nature, look to architecture, and tell me you don't see it too. Towering buildings become reminiscent of vigour and dominance. Flowers, fruit, and tunnels remind us retrospectively of this beautifully complex yet enigmatic nature of this shape. Take a look for yourself. Is there a barrage of reproductive symbolism all over our city? Or is it deeper than that? What are these shapes and what do they mean? This got me curious. What are these shapes and what do they mean? The phallic symbol has prominence in many cities and ancient cultures, tradition and mythology, and it is centre to the notion of male power and dominance. In Renaissance medical anatomy, the relationship between the male and female body was regarded in hierarchical terms. The female was lesser, an inverted version of the male. But is this symbolic in all cultures? Introducing the Shivling. In Hinduism, the Linga is regarded as a form of spiritual iconography. In Sanskrit, Linga means symbol, sign, emblem, mark, logo. It symbolizes the unique invisible power of the male and female, means Linga and Yoni. Shiva Linga is always represented with the Yoni at the base. It is symbolic of Mata Shakti, meaning creative female energy. According to a distinguished professor, Wendy Doniger, for many Hindus, the Linga is not a male sexual organ, but a spiritual icon of their faith, Just like for Christians, the cross is not an instrument of execution, but a symbol of Christ and the Christian faith. Shiva Linga refers to two static and kinetic factors responsible for all creation, often explained as male and female. The United State refers to their creative mood process. Thus, Shiva Linga is an atomic and symbolic representation of creation. Together, they symbolize the union of female and masculine principles and the totality of all existence, states the Encyclopedia Britannica. There is so much to be said about the subject that there are many books written about it, one of which is by Devdutt called Shiva to Shankara. It gives a deep insight into the meaning of Shiva Linga, and it's worth a read if you would like to broaden your perspective. But if you can't wait for the book, why not practice the Shiva Linga mantra now? Place your right hand with your thumb extended upwards on top of your left hand, which is shaped like a bowl. Hold the fingers of the left hand close together. Position your hands at the level of your abdomen with your elbows pointing outwards and slightly forward. Do this as often as you like, or for 2 times a day for 4 minutes. Combined with breathing practice, this mantra can be used against tiredness, dissatisfaction, and depression. Or we can use it when we feel drained because of long periods of tension and strain. What does any of this have to do with art? Since architecture, advertising, and even nature itself is so full of Linga and Yoni imagery, it is only natural that it should find some expression within art, the visual manifestation of the human psyche. It is said that the job of an artist is to take mundane forms of reality, whether a facial expression, a bowl of fruit, and make those forms irresistible to the human brain. This got me thinking about the interrelationship between a person's mind and art. So as Samir Zaki puts it, the artist is, in a sense, a neuroscientist, exploring the potentials and capability of the brain, though with different tools. Certain shapes and forms are hardwired into our existence, and so naturally it spills out into our creation. After all, this is meant to be a visual journey. So far, we've seen that there are many references to these intriguing shapes. But what about art? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Take a minute, have a look at this painting, centralize your thoughts, and take a minute. Here we have some work by Georgia O'Keeffe. She said, "I feel there is something unexplored about women that only women can explore." O'Keeffe's flowers and contextual background that surround them have become a 21st century debate. When Googled, there are 3 words synonymous with her iconic work. One of them is sensual, and the others, I'll leave you to guess. Here is a model that I made to show that the artist and the viewer go on a very similar journey when it comes to creating or viewing art. We both start with an impression. We observe, we interpret, and then we create an impression. And what that does is it evokes something, both in the artist and in the viewer. Let's see, what shapes do you see in my artwork? Observed by Ramachandran and Hirstein, a puzzle picture, or one in which meaning is implied rather than explicit, may paradoxically be more alluring than one in which the message is obvious. Do you find an obvious message here in my work? Let's see, what shapes do you see in my artwork? Observed by Ramachandran and Hirstein, a puzzle picture, or one in which meaning is implied rather than explicit, may paradoxically be more alluring than one in which the message is obvious. Do you find an obvious message here in my work? We know that no two people see colour in the same way. What colour do you see as dominant? Got it? What if I do this? Does that change your perception? I have created a short video which really takes the puzzle to the next step. Please note what shapes you see. And here we go. Collaboration is important to us. The 24/7 collective are always looking for collaborators, and we have more than enough space to share your artwork on our +1 gallery. So please reach out. Here is a piece of artwork that I made whilst working with Catherine Harper, a fabulous astrologer and healer. She is offering all viewers the chance to work with her, so you can understand your natal and astrological chart. She's into numerology as well, so please check out her website. Let's meet again. If you like what you saw and you would like to meet us again, I've been invited as a guest artist at the Ria Art Fair in Milan. This gives you a chance to meet us, as well as see the works of 100 fabulous emerging artists. So please check out their website. Brilliant. So we would really love to hear from you. If it's an idea or if you would like to share your work, please reach out to us. The email address is Shahina at justart24/7, which actually looks like this, 247.com. Our web address is www.art24 247.co.uk. Thank you and reach out. Finally, I'd like to thank Linga Studio and all of you for coming on this amazing journey with me. So, it's bye from Shahina.
And bye from Shay.
See ya.
Bye.
Put me on.
He wants to see the stardom. He wants it.
He wants it.
He wants it.
Needless to say, I never looked at seafood the same way again. Fine with breeding. Breeding? Am I really breeding? So it's fair enough. I have seen a whole bunch of whatever you happen to call your lady part. Needless to say, I never looked at seafood the same way again. Ooh, wrong one. And 1, 2. Okay. Hi, I'm Shahina Jaffa.
And I'm Shay Scott.
I'm an artist and